Swearing in ceremony for the 61st Board of County Commissioners. I was going to get it right eventually. I also like to welcome here today Brett Gerard, who is a representative for United States Senator Chris Van Hollen, and Heather Campbell, the representative for Senator Cardin. Thank you all for coming today. Now we're going to start with the swearing-in ceremony, and we're going to have Heather DeWeese come forward, the new clerk of the court. Come on up.
Hi, good afternoon. Gentlemen, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Stephen Albert Wance.
Charles Richard Weaver.
Dennis Frazier. Christopher Couchet.
Edward C. Rothstein.
Do swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And that I will be faithful.
And that I will be faithful.
And that I will bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland.
And I will bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland.
And support the Constitution and laws thereof.
And support the Constitution and laws thereof.
And that I will.
And that I will.
To the best of my skill and judgment.
To the best of my skill and judgment.
Diligently and faithfully.
Diligently and faithfully.
Without partiality or prejudice.
Without partiality or prejudice.
Execute the office.
Execute the office.
Of Commissioner for Carroll County, Maryland.
Of Commissioner for Carroll County, Maryland.
According to the Constitution and laws of this state.
According to the Constitution and laws of this state.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
We're in this together, buddy.
All right, Ms. Thon has the textbook over there. Y'all need to sign it. Here, do that first before we
We have to do that first.
You had an easy election, by the way.
Go ahead.
All together on it. We're all brothers now. We're all in a sweet spot. You know how to operate it? Oh, yeah.
Put him out of it. All right. Mr. Wayne, you're first, right? Yeah. You guys, I'm not talking first. I'll talk last. Okay, now I'd like to give each of the county commissioners a chance to say a few words. We're going to start with Commissioner Wance.
It's not in my vocabulary. It's good to be District 1. First out of the gate. All of you that live in District 1, insert applause here. Pretty well represented today. First of all, welcome to everyone. We are very honored to see this kind of a crowd come out for what I and my colleagues believe to be one of the most important days in Carroll County, and that is the swearing-in ceremony of 5 tremendous individuals. Maybe. I can tell you that I have had the honor to be in this job for 4 years now. I think I've aged a good bit, and some will tell you that I've lost a little bit of hair. But for me, it is one of the most humbling experiences to be able to do this job and to do it for what is not arguably the best county in the state of Maryland. We are the safest county in the state of Maryland, and I want to recognize a couple people here. Bear with me. Sheriff DeWeese and Lieutenant Rebecca Bosley. We are so blessed in this county to have top-notch law enforcement, and we truly appreciate all the efforts that you put in to make sure that we maintain a tremendous quality of life county. So thank you both. We truly appreciate it. And it doesn't stop there. I'm not going to go through all the staff because we've already done that this morning, and Debbie told me to keep it brief, so I got to keep it brief. But we're blessed to have a tremendous staff. We're blessed to be able to have fantastic relationships, a great cooperation and collaboration with our delegates in Annapolis. We truly appreciate their role and what they help us through, and we're most fortunate to have a great team down there. So not sure what this session's going to bring in that quaint little village, but we know you all have our backs, and working together, we can continue to bring great things to this county. So I started this job not knowing what to expect, I'll tell you. 40 years in the fire service, jumping off of fire apparatus, ambulances, making split-second decisions. That ain't easy. And I can tell you that this job isn't either. And it's not split-second decisions here. I kid people all the time. It takes us about 6 months to buy a box of pencils here. And that's interesting to me. But the bottom line for me is making sure that our citizens have the best quality of life and the best place to live, work, and play. And I think you see that each and every day. We have made tremendous strides over the last 4 years, and we've made it because we've been able to work together in a common goal of bringing that to our citizens. So quickly for me, I started off in 2014 with what I called the 3 E's: education, economic growth, and emergency services. And there's an S on the end of that, and that's staff. Because without a fantastic staff, we wouldn't be where we are today. I say this every single day. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And we continue to be blessed to have the best staff anywhere, and I thank you all very much. I've got some goals that I'd like to see accomplished in the next 4 years. Certainly in my district, I've got an internet issue. Don't have a whole lot of people that have it. I talk to my boots on the ground folks each and every day because I got this thing called gravel roads in my district. They ain't easy either. And because of decisions that were made, I've got a very interesting project that I'm going to be bringing back to one of the areas of my district that I'm very proud of, and that's a community center to take the place of one of our schools. I embrace that community up there for the passion and the will that they have and the way in which they have changed to embrace a project. It's always been a tough decision up there, but that community has embraced it, and I very much look forward to bringing that together for that community in the next 4 years. And listen, it's not just about the districts. The way that we're set up here, we got to know a little bit about everything and every place. I'm fortunate, and I say this, and I said this morning, I've had a beautiful lady by my side for the last 39 years, and I couldn't do this job without Kathy, so thank you. Kathy happens to work in the Eldersburg area, and we've got a lot of friends down there. So for me, it's not about just District 1, it's about representing the whole county. And I will continue to do that in the next 4 years. My door is always open, and I look forward to working for all of you. So, summing it up, I know you are surprised by that. I want to make sure that we stay on the path of a successful Carroll County, maintaining our transparent, successful form of government that I think brings the best to our citizens. I applaud all of you, and I applaud each and every one of you that continue to support us. Filling the room means a lot. Thank you very, very much. Call me when you need me. Thank you.
We'll move on now to Commissioner Weaver.
As I stated this morning, 1,462 days. That's what we have to accomplish things with this board in the near future. And I just want to say the last 4 years, the last 1,461 days have zoomed by really fast. And it's hard to believe that we're starting over again, but I am starting with two colleagues that I think a lot of. We've really worked together very well, and I thank you, gentlemen, for the work that we've done over the last 4 years. With that, we have two new guys coming in, and I think the brotherhood's changing a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to the respect and hardworking two that we have coming on, and this board is going to be different than any board I think we've ever had before. I really feel good about it. But before I go on, I must thank my wife, Lila, for all she's put up with, and the family has pitched in different times when I'm gone, and I just thank you for all you've put up with and helped with and everything else that we've done here today, or in the last 4 years. But I want to say a couple things. Number one, our staff is phenomenal. And if you're a member of the staff of Carroll County, any aspect, stand up, would you? Staff members in Carroll County. Give them a round of applause, would you? These are the people that make us look good. And I tell you, these folks, I stop by, even though I'm told maybe sometimes I shouldn't. I stop in, talk to people, and I ask them what's going on, or we just see what's happening in the world. I stop by road crews occasionally and see what they're doing. But these are the people that make this county great, and I just want to recognize them for what they do. With that, I have several goals that I want to have for the next 4 years, and one of those is collaboration. And that is the key, I think, to everything we're going to be doing. We have a good rapport with the delegation, a good rapport with the judiciary, a good rapport, I think, with the school board. We want to continue with that, and I want to keep going with that collaborative effort and really focus on that. And why I mentioned that, if you're a member of the school board, would you just stand up or wave here? Or superintendent of schools? Education is one pillar that I think we need to base Carroll County on. We have one of the best school systems in the county, and I want to keep that going in the future. The second pillar of that is police, and we have developed a whole different system with policing. We have the police academy, and Jim, very well known, but Lieutenant, is she here? Oh, in the back here. I want to thank these guys for what they do, keeping this county the safest county in Maryland, and they have done a fantastic job. Now, I will say Sheriff DeWeese wants to be adopted and put in the will, but he's... My sons are fighting that at the present time. But we have a good rapport with the police department, and what we're doing is just starting, and I want more than that. And I want to thank the delegation last year for giving us enabling legislation, easy for me to say, to deal with the fire and EMS service. And that service is going to be moving ahead. But as far as public safety, Commissioner Wentz alluded to, that is going to be a major focus in the next 4 years, how we are going to be able to help our 14 volunteer fire departments to move forward and do a better job going out to calls and answering their EMS calls. So it's our duty to work with them to make some changes here in the next few years. So fire, police, and education are my major focuses, and they have been for 4 years. But with that, I want collaboration, unity, and problem solving. I'm looking for these 4 gentlemen and myself to start solving the problems of Carroll County, and I'm looking forward to that. I won't pull a Wentz, I'm going to keep it short. And I thank you guys for your understanding so far, and for the wives of these guys, believe me, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Move on to Commissioner Rothstein, newly elected.
I was hoping we'd go a little out of order, and I do have a few prepared remarks. But first and foremost, being in this room is pretty special, the Reagan Room. And if you go in the back showcase, you're going to see pictures of President Reagan and the late Vice President, our 41st President, George H.W. Bush. Pretty special, because he was a true leader, joining in as 18th birthday into the Navy and serving ever since then up until he recently passed. So although we're celebrating today, I do want to start with something that he shared during his presidency. There is nothing more fulfilling than to serve your country and your fellow citizens and do it well. And I think that's a strong statement to say, and I think that's why we are all here today. And I am very proud to serve with the 4 commissioners, and also all those that recently were elected. And congratulations to also those that were elected. Delegate Krebs, Delegate Miller, thank you so much for being here as well, and happy birthday, Susan. So if anybody doesn't know, she's 29 plus. Okay. Up front, once again, oh yeah, I can't keep going without thanking my wife Audrey and the kids. They really worked hard in my efforts and my endeavor in moving forward, and I'm very proud that they have stood with me from the career I had in uniform and further on to now being elected as county commissioner. I'm going to use those experiences that I've had from being in uniform and from economic development, but I'm not going to rely on those experiences. I'm going to be working hard, and I love the word collaboration, with our commissioners, with our staff, with our delegation, with you, the community, to solving problems. This is not about being working hard. It's about getting results. The way we're going to get results, I believe, is through 3 simple terms, or 3 simple words: listen, learn, and lead. I'm going to listen to you, learn from you, and lead together with you. That's how we're going to solve these problems. I'm looking forward to working with our staff, with those in our government. My focus, I do have these prepared. They're shot now. My focus is really on three pillars, as you say, or verticals. One is economic and business development and growth. Business and economic development and growth where it makes sense. So I look forward to working with Jack Liburn and his team in furthering our economic and business development, especially down in District 5 in the Eldersburg-Sykesville area. It's a wonderful corridor that we have going east to west, and I'd like to be able to take advantage of that. The second is those that serve every day in our community in uniform, both police and fire, and continue to strive for better successes in giving them the resources necessary to do our job and protect our community. The third is public education. I'm a product of public education. My kids are as well, from here in Carroll County, and I'm very proud of that. So again, continue to resource the public education the best we can. In closing, it's real simple. I come here with 5 values: my family, my faith, integrity, discipline, and serving others. Those coupled with the community values and then prioritizing the work that we can do with those values is very important, and figuring out how to resource those priorities and keeping us on track. This is a great day to celebrate. Again, I thank you so much for being here and look forward to serving you in the next 4 years. Thank you.
I just have to, aside from what Commissioner Rothstein said, it reminds me of a game that used to play when I was younger. It's called You Don't Know Jack. No offense, Jack. But we'll move forward now to go Commissioner Boucher. Come on up.
Good afternoon, folks. Thanks for coming out. I'd like to give special recognition to 3 individuals in this room who've known me longer than anyone else here, and that is former Delegate Don Murphy, Delegate Susan Krebs, and Delegate Warren Miller. They have known me a long time, and they've watched me run for public office 6 times. 3 times for county commissioner, so obviously the 3rd time's the charm. When I first moved to Carroll County in 2004, I had the honor of having the late Senator Bob Kittleman as my senator. And he was a mentor to me when I first started in politics. And when I moved to this county, I sent him a letter. And when I sent him the letter originally, I didn't know he was terminally diagnosed with cancer. And he took time out of his day to have breakfast with me one morning, 3 months before he passed. And he gave me 2 pieces, or he made 2 recommendations for me to accomplish as a citizen of Carroll County. And today, I just accomplished the first one. He said, Eric, become county commissioner. The second request he made of me was to bring independent government to Carroll County, which means bringing charter government to this county and electing a county executive and a county councilman, or county councilman, hopefully 5 of them if it holds up under the charter writing. That is very important to me as a businessman. I come to you with my experience as a businessman, understand that a successful business needs to have a board of directors and a chief executive officer. And the same thing applies to our county government. The individuals who legislate should not be executing the law, and the individual who executes the law should not be legislating the law. So I'm determined in the next 4 years to bring an upgraded, modern system of government to this county so that we are more efficient. I am for economic development, and that's part of the process of bringing economic development to our county. Not only do we need economic development on a large scale of corporations, but we need economic development in our small towns. I have 2 small towns in my district, New Windsor and Union Bridge, and when I was door knocking, I can tell you those little communities need our love. Those citizens are just as much citizens as the people of Westminster, Mount Airy, Hampstead. They need economic development, and I'm determined to help bring it to them. So I ask of you to believe in me in the future that I'm offering this county as we move forward together to become even more prosperous of a county. Thank you very much.
I only have about 6 pages. Somebody has to step up for Wayans. First, I'd like to thank my family through this last 4 years and through the election. Actually, the hardest part about this job is going through the election. It really is difficult. So many things can be said, and it makes no difference, true or not true. It really doesn't make a difference. It's out there. It sometimes gets printed letter to the editor, goes on Facebook, all that stuff. It's tough. I kind of let it go, but it's tougher on the family than it is on me as an individual. So I'd like to thank my wife for, if you know her, she's not politically correct. She says whatever she wants to say, whenever she wants to say it. But during the election, during the campaign, she reeled it in a little bit. So I was able to get reelected. I appreciate that. Thank you. And she has helped me a lot the entire time I've been running. Special thanks to my daughter, who went on the internet every single night and found out what was happening and called me up and said, Dad, did you know so-and-so did this or so-and-so said that? I said, Sarah, relax. It's not that big a deal. It's a day-to-day thing. It's a long election. Let's see what happens. But she was very, very concerned about it. So I thank you for that. I thank my son, Christopher. He's been under the spotlight since I've been in this position, and I thank you for putting up with that. I also like to thank the county staff. They do a tremendous job here. They make my job much, much easier. Without them, this job, I don't think I could handle it. Because as I mentioned earlier, I get a lot of emails, a lot of texts, and during those emails and texts, what I normally do is forward them to someone in the county staff, say, please look into this, please handle this, and they do. They never come back to me and say, Commissioner, come on. They handle it for me. I do really appreciate that. I appreciate the staff on the third floor that help support the commissioners. They do a tremendous job. We work with them every single day that we are here. They help us out in so many ways. Special shout out to Denise, who's my assistant. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know where I was going, what's happening. I have, if you count this as a part-time job, 3 part-time jobs. So I have to have the schedule, I have to have it in there, and she does a tremendous job. I thank you very much. If it wasn't for her, I might not be here right now. You don't know. So thank you very much for that, Denise. I'd like to thank the City Council and the Mayor for the City of Westminster. I think most of them had my back in this election. A special shout out to Tony Cavacci and Dr. Wack, mainly because they didn't run against me, because if they had, I might not be here. But they did a tremendous job and helped me out throughout the entire election. I do appreciate that. My third thank you, I guess, is to the voters of District 3 who are not fooled by the half-truths and outright lies that happened during the election. They weren't swayed when elected officials went out and campaigned against me door to door. They saw through the deception, and they voted me in for a second term. And for that, I am very appreciative. Thank you very much. My main areas of focus for the next term would be, number one, I'm trying to at least double the amount of solar fields Carroll County has. Right now, we're saving about $500,000 a year on electrical bills for the county. I'd like to make that about $1 million before the end of 4 years. Also looking at, I have my list here, give me a second. I'm also would like to see if we can put a committee together to look at charter government. I think it's about time to do that. And I also like if that committee gets together and we write a charter, that we get the true information of the charter out there so people can look at what the charter actually says and don't vote on things that other people say that what says this, it says that. Look at the charter, read the charter, understand what's being put out there. Then if you don't like it, don't vote for it. But let's try to get that moving forward. I tried to push that last 4 years, was successful. Let's try it again this year because I do think it's time for Carroll County to move to charter government. I'd like to work to make the solid waste fund self-sustaining. We put about $2 million of general fund money into that every year to keep it moving along. We're looking at different ways. We're looking at ways to do that. Something that always comes up to like a stumbling block in front. We need to make the solid waste fund self-sustaining. I think we're moving toward that. Hopefully that will happen. I would also like to see high-speed internet service available to every citizen of Carroll County because I think it's needed and necessary. I would like to see every business to have multiple choices of high-speed internet. You don't have to just take one company. You have 1 or 2, at least 2, maybe 3 to choose from. So you have different, different varieties, and competition would be very good, I think. And lastly, but not least, we have to tackle the drug problem in Carroll County. We've got to get on that. Over 85% of all crime, according to the sheriff, is related directly or indirectly to drugs and drug use. If we get a handle on that, we can solve a lot of other problems in Carroll County because we'll have the resources to do it. We have a lot of resources committed to the opioid and drug problem. I always call it the drug problem. Everybody talks about the opioid problem because the opioid problem's up front and center because of the number of people that are dying because of opioids. But it's not just opioids, it's all types of drugs. So hopefully we'll get together, we'll work on that and maybe take some steps forward in solving that problem as well. I'd like to close by thanking everyone for coming here today. It's nice to have standing room only. That's why you only put out this little bit of chairs. But thank you all for coming. And I guess that's about it. Unless somebody else said. That's it. Thank you.